Big price increases in the new build market. Jeremy Knight, the Knight Group, your favorite awesome realtor. So today I want to go through and talk about what some of these builders are still facing in this market and talk about what we are going to start seeing coming very soon, because I'm already seeing it and it's something you should know about. Make sure you drop a comment below. Are you seeing these things? Are you still running into problems with builders? Look, the comment section for these videos is a lot of therapy for a lot of people. So definitely reach out and definitely drop that comment below. Here we go. So the first thing we're running into is supply chain issues. Now, I know people have talked about this a lot and I brought this up on my channel a lot, but what we're running into, even DR Horton, who posted record sales numbers this year, is already saying that they're not having a problem with the demand of buying their homes and selling their homes. They're running into so many issues with supply chain backing up their new builds that they can't get new builds out, but they're running into supply chain issues with windows, appliances, and everything in the supply chain, even all the way down to sand just to make concrete. And on top of that, here in the Austin area, there is a significant amount of red tape that you have to go through in order just to put a home on the ground. So we do have limitations in that as well. So beyond labor being more expensive and being harder to source, what these builders are running into is just having a price problem, right? While these rising prices are going up, really the builders aren't making up these margins. It's you, the consumer, that's making up these margins. And we'll talk about some of the things that they're actually doing to their clients. And how many of you have run into issues with pricing as well, where either the builder raised the price or they're not going to give you an accurate price on a property just because they don't know what the building costs are going to be. So that's been a challenge with a lot of these builders. Now, let's go away from challenges with builders because that's on its own a problem. But think about this. If you're a consumer and you've been under contract and we're expecting to buy a home in 12 months and you were supposed to close maybe at the end of the year or beginning of the year, now interest rates have extremely gone up. So if you're a consumer, when do you lock in your rate? In fact, we had Sarah Morris with CMG on Real Migos. And if you're not watching Real Migos, definitely watch Real Migos or at least watch the clips, because we like to give a lot of good information. Yeah, it takes an hour to get that information out, but I think there's a lot of good things in there. So watch our live stream 7 p.m. on Wednesdays. But Sarah was talking about, the time that you can actually lock in is typically 90 days. Some programs are doing 120-day lock with a float down, which means that if rates go down from where you locked in, drop your rate down. So get with your lender and find out how to lock those rates. And you're going to have to figure out how to lock those in a lot earlier than you would have. That's becoming a problem. It's costing you more money right now because let's say you locked in a year ago and you had a home for, $1 million that you were buying and you were getting a jumbo rate at around, 3.8%. That's not bad. That same jumbo rate might be at 5% now. And that's not even talking about property taxes, which if you haven't seen any of my videos on property taxes, definitely go look for my videos on property taxes. It's not the video for today, but property taxes will go up every year. Keep that in mind. The other challenge that you're running into as a consumer is if you're renting a home currently or if you're getting ready to sell a home. And I have a lot of sellers right now waiting to sell, and now they might have to sell after July, which if you've been paying attention to this channel, listing after July might be a challenge if you're a seller, just because a lot of different things, and you might not get the price you're wanting if you're listing your home towards July, August, September, October. It'll probably still sell, but maybe not as much as it would have sold in May. If you're renting, what we're seeing, and I have clients that have this problem, is that they're going month to month now. We are supposed to be done in early this year. Now they're month to month on their rent, and it's gone up absorbently. So they're paying a lot more money in rent than they should have been. And the interest rate for their home has gone up. So now it's going to be even more expensive. Plus the values of homes have gone up. So when those taxes hit, it's going to be even more expensive. The challenge you run into is if you were to jump in the market right now and buy resale, it is still very, very competitive. So let's say you just get out of that contract and go try to buy another home. You're still going to have limitations and you're still going to have a big headache. So what's the better way to go? Do you just stay with this build that's potentially going to be costing you money, or try to buy right now? Okay, so I hope I haven't scared you too much, but it's time to talk about actually purchasing a new construction home and what to expect there. So typically in the past, you could have just gone to a builder, picked out a lot, picked out the home you wanted, and then picked out all the upgrades and then built a home for the price. They're not doing that as much. Now, again, a lot of the reasons why they've moved to this more inventory model is for all the reasons we kind of highlighted in here. They can't properly gauge prices because of fluctuating prices of materials, delays, and all those other things. So what a lot of these builders and why people think that there's so much available inventory is that what we're seeing is that a lot of these builders are pre-building and speccing out homes. They're getting through all this red tape a lot faster by having the home site picked out, the home, and all the upgrades that are going into the home. That way they can get the permits done and they can have a house ready to be built. Now, some of these homes, if you look at what they're actually putting in the home, some of these builders aren't really putting the highest quality of stone or the highest quality of stuff in because they just want to get through and get them done cheaply, and then sell them for a premium. So keep an eye when you're looking at it. And that's a problem that I had personally when I was looking at that home for $1.2 million, as I just looked at the quality. The kitchen was nice, the backsplash was nice, the rest of the stuff they picked in the house I didn't like. And I'm going $1.2 million, I'm gonna have to put $60,000, $70,000 more into this house, and it's already at the top of the market for this neighborhood. So keep that in mind. If you look at like Treviso and Taylor Morrison, they do have bids on properties where they'll have, here's the price, but you're gonna bid on the home. And a lot of these builders are doing this. D.R. Horton's doing this, but they're pre-speccing the homes out. You can bid on the price of the home at this, here it is. The other thing I saw Taylor Morrison doing was that you can bid on the lot itself if you're gonna do a to-be built. So the lot minimums were about $205,000. You can bid over that on the lot. So you're spending a lot of money just on the lot itself and not the home. And the base prices for these homes has gotten a lot more expensive. But hey, look, the value of land has gone up pretty quickly in the same amount of time that we've been seeing all this stuff in the 2021, 2020 market. So land is a lot more expensive. So maybe they're justified in raising it. But when I built a home, it was like $22,000 for a lot, maybe $100,000 for a lot. I'm seeing some of these lots come out at $205,000. But hey, look, if you're gonna go live in Treviso, you're buying a $1 to $2 million home right now. You're really not finding anything under that. So let's talk about price decreases and what builders are actually facing and how it could benefit you potentially as a buyer in the future. So what we're seeing here is that prices are actually decreasing around the Austin market in general. Some of these builders are starting to put out inventory. Even Bloomberg did an article on this and we talked about it. A lot of this inventory is coming towards the July timeframe. And so now they're putting this inventory out. And as they put this inventory out, the same demand because of everything in the market is not there for new builds, partly because the prices are high and the taxes are so high. So we saw about 22% of properties that were decreasing their prices happen to be new construction. And a lot of these aren't complete yet. They're July, August, September releases. So if you are a buyer, now is a time to start really considering buying new construction. Now you're gonna say, okay, Jeremy, realtor, you're always gonna tell people to buy new construction. No, if you wanna start getting prices and good prices on new construction, maybe you're VA or FHA and you've been beat out, well, I've seen a lot of these builders no longer doing their bids. Yes, the bidding system is gone. And so for a lot of builders, not all of them, but for a lot of builders, which means that you buying VA, FHA, if you've been on the outskirts looking in, it's time to jump in on some of these. If you're trying to do 3 or 5% down conventional financing, it's time to really start looking at these. And guess what? Go into that new build and negotiate the price. Yes, we finally can be at the point where we might be able to negotiate the price. And investors, I'm starting to see, yes, I'm going to talk to investors finally. Investors, we are starting to see some of these builders allow investors again. Now, the pricing isn't as investor friendly as it used to be, yet you still can get in and get a property and potentially negotiate down the price. Jeremy Knight, the Knight Group, what did you see in this video? Am I right? Are you seeing this in the market? Drop that comment below. And if you do want to reach out to me, my contact info is below. We'll catch you in the next video.